gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
A 21-year-old man is under arrest for allegedly killing his 15-year-old girlfriend.
Hey, yo. So that is a crazy headline here. A 21-year-old man arrested for deleting his 15-year-old girlfriend. I mean, what is a 21-year-old doing with a 15-year-old? That's the first question that everybody asks. And I mean, a lot of the times it's tough for the parents to keep an eye on their children. Maybe they aren't involved. Maybe she was being raised by her grandparents, you know, and we know that the grandparents, they're not up to speed with all the new technology and the way that young people are meeting around these days. And this horrible, tragic event happens to this young lady. It's a very unfortunate situation that we have. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Alianah Dickey was found dead inside her home in Lawrence after she didn't show up to her 8th grade graduation on Friday.
Wow, and she was going to an 8th grade graduation. That's crazy. I mean, this is absolutely wild. I mean, and honestly, it seems like she probably was held back a couple times, because how are you 15 in the 8th grade? I mean, when I was in 8th grade, I was 13. So, I mean, she's 3 years away from graduating high school as far as her age is concerned. But, you know, it tells you that maybe she came from a troubled background and didn't have the guidance or people in her life to deter a predator like this individual, who I'm learning is named Trevor Beatty. She didn't have anybody to keep this man away from her.
Police say she got into an argument with her boyfriend, Trevor Beatty, the night before, and that he shot her after midnight before taking off in an Uber. Police say Beatty had abused the teenager in the past.
A Tewksbury man now under arrest for allegedly murdering his teenage girlfriend last week. Trevor Beatty is charged with murder and several other crimes in the shooting death of 15-year-old Alianah Dickey. The victim never showed up for her 8th grade graduation in Lowell last Friday. Well, she was soon found dead in a bedroom of her family's home. She'd been shot several times.
Woo! Just a horrible way to go out, too. Violently taken from this world. And their relationship was essentially statutory rape, right? Because she is not able to give consent at 15 in any state in the United States, for that matter. And it's quite concerning that they were able to have a relationship potentially around family, you know, and obviously this was an abusive relationship. So the question begs, where are the parents?
It was learned that Alianah had confided in a number of people that Mr. Beatty had been abusing her and was threatening her as recently as the middle of last week.
Well, the DA, Marion Ryan, says security video from the area shows Beatty and Dickey arguing on the street shortly before she disappeared. Beatty will be arraigned tomorrow morning.
Lowell police are searching for a gunman who they believe claimed the life of a 15-year-old girl. Family members have identified the girl as 15-year-old Alianah. The Middlesex DA's office says the girl was shot multiple times. They say a family member found her body inside a Lawrence Street apartment Friday night. Police say she had been shot multiple times. We spoke with Alianah's grandmother and aunt, who are now trying to make sense of the unimaginable.
She's my oldest granddaughter, and I don't know how we're gonna go on without her. She's a child. She liked to get her hair done and her nails done all the time. And makeup. And her lashes.
Yeah, and obviously, like any other young girl, she was focused on her appearance, and unfortunately, nobody was watching her. And that is what really led to this situation, in my opinion, because how are you allowing your 15-year-old daughter, family member, to date a grown man?
She was a girly girl. She loved coloring and drawing.
Authorities say this is still an active investigation.
Now we go to Lowell, where a heartbreaking investigation is underway.
Yeah, 15-year-old girl found dead after she did not show up for her middle school graduation. NBC 10's Mary Marcos is live in Lowell this morning, where this is being handled really as a homicide investigation, Mary.
Yes, this homicide investigation continues on Father's Day. And in fact, it was a family member who found the girl dead on the day she was supposed to graduate 8th grade.
I was there waiting for her.
She went to the graduation yesterday with flowers and she didn't show up.
Authorities say a family member found the 15-year-old girl with traumatic injuries inside this Lowell apartment Friday, the day of her 8th grade graduation. The Essex County District Attorney says police found her with multiple gunshot wounds on Lawrence Street when they got the 911 call around 6 o'clock at night. Several shell casings were also found in the area, according to officials. Later that night, investigators started searching the apartment. Multiple neighbors say they heard the father shouting, "Someone killed my daughter."
So it looks like the father potentially discovered her, so he was there. I mean, by all means, and it appears that he had knowledge of this relationship at least, and if not outright sanctioned it. So very tough situation here. I don't really see how you could do that as a father, allow your 15-year-old daughter to date a 21-year-old man. But we can't say that he wasn't there because he's the one who found the body in the family home. It's just, man, this is concerning. This is what the community has become. This is where we're at with it. It's a very unfortunate thing to say, but we have to take group accountability, group acknowledgement first, but group accountability nonetheless, because nobody is speaking up about this. This story is going nowhere. Boom, dead end story. Once it hits the press, you don't have many mainstream outlets talking about it. You won't see this on CNN. You won't see this anywhere, right? It's just a 1-minute story on every local channel, then it's on to the next one. These super gremlins are on demon time.
One man who asked to remain anonymous says his son heard gunshots the night before.
He came down from upstairs and he said, "I think I just heard gunshots." And I said, "No, it's not around here. It doesn't happen around here." And he said, "No, it was pop, 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 pop." I said, "I don't think so."
This is such a very low line. This is unheard of.
Now, authorities have not identified the victim in this case. No word on any suspects at this point either, but the investigation is ongoing. Live in Lowell, Mary Marcos, NBC 10 Boston.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
11, tragedy in Lowell. Police are investigating the death of a 15-year-old girl. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Jordan Jagalinzer. The Middlesex District Attorney's Office says a family member found her body with traumatic injuries. And as WBZ's Laura Hafley reports, her death is now being investigated as a homicide.
Flowers are piling up outside of this apartment building here in Lowell. You can see a candle lit down here. This is where police say Friday night a 15-year-old girl was shot and killed.
Wow.
The tight-knit neighborhood stunned by the violence. It was a heartbreaking scene Friday night inside of this Lowell apartment. The Middlesex District Attorney's Office says a 15-year-old girl was shot and killed.
I was on the phone with her last night talking about how she was going to high school and stuff. She was happy, still in disbelief.
Family members confirmed to WBZ Alianah Dickey had just graduated the 8th grade. The family providing this photo taken the night of her school dance, a moment she shared with her best friend.
She just had her 8th grade dance, so she was happy about that. She was happy about everything. She said, I'm gonna go to sleep, I'll call you tomorrow. I said, okay.
Skyla Guthrie didn't know it would be their last phone call.
She wanted to do bright things in life.
Really positive person.
Really positive person. No matter what could go on, it's like, if I'm down, she'll bring me up.
The district.
And it sounds like this young lady was a good friend to the people around her. So it's a horrible, tragic loss. The whole situation is absolutely insane and concerning. 15-year-old with a 21-year-old man, and he ultimately deletes her, shoots her to death. I mean, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? But the community is not calling this out. In many cases, if you guys read the comments ever, you will see in the very rare cases where a story of mine gets over 1,000 views, which y'all know he was doing them numbers when we had like, what, 300, 1,500 subs, and now we've grown more than ever, but the viewer count is still extremely low. I know my videos are getting out, but the viewer count obviously is being it's being manipulated with so that I can't grow. And they even tell you that it happens like that when you get demonetized after being monetized, and then when they shadow ban you as well, give you community strikes for not breaking TOS like I've never done. That's how they hit you. That's how they hit channels like mine. But on the rare occasion where I do get a video with over 1,000 views, which there were a few stories that I've done recently that got over 1,000 views, you will see newcomers in the comments section defending the murderers, defending the bad men, defending the evil that's going on, and calling me, you're the worst thing that could happen. You're the reason why this is happening. And that's how YouTube interprets it too. They say, instead of me saying we need this to stop, group accountability, group acknowledgement, it's time to wake up, it's time for the black community to do something about this, instead of them saying I'm de-escalating or stopping the spread, if you will, for lack of a better term, they're saying I'm inciting the violence. I mean, it's crazy. But that's the rationale with these social media oligarchs and with the community, because there's some type of mind control. I don't know if it's in the air, if it's in the wind, or if it's in the water, but there's something that triggers the community to think that calling this behavior out is a bad thing, and that we should be defending or hiding what is going on in our communities, and that's just not the case. I refuse to do it.
District Attorney's Office says police responded to the Lawrence Street home after a family member discovered the young girl suffering from gunshot wounds.
I was crying because I seen the father show up on the scene.
Neighbor Mark Richards witnessed the chaotic scene unfold just steps away from his home.
It just felt terrible for him because he wanted to go in. The cops, of course, couldn't let him in. I felt like going over and giving him a hug.
The community.
So the father was there. How? I just don't understand how your daughter gets mixed up with a grown man and the father is in the home, but who knows?
He is now on high alert, concerned a suspect still has not been caught.
I'm a little nervous because, A, was she targeted? A, something going on in the neighborhood?
While police work to track down the person involved, family and friends will grieve the young life lost.
One last thing I will say is that I love her.
The Middlesex District Attorney says this is still very much an open investigation in its early stages. A suspect has not been identified. In Lowell, Laura Hafley, WBC News.
Today, we are announcing that Trevor Beatty, age 21, of Tewksbury, was arrested this afternoon in connection with the murder of 15-year-old Alianah Dickey, which occurred on Lawrence Street in the city at the end of last week, Thursday night into Friday. Mr. Beatty has been charged with murder, armed home invasion, unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, use of a firearm while committing a felony, and discharge of a firearm within 500 feet of a building.
But no statutory... I guess they can't prove it since she's not alive anymore. Wow, this is rough.
He'll be appearing in the Lowell District Court tomorrow morning to be arraigned on those charges. Today, we are announcing that Trevor Beatty, age 21, of Tewksbury, was arrested this afternoon in connection with the murder of 15-year-old Alianah Dickey, which occurred on Lawrence Street in the city at the end of last week, Thursday night into Friday. Mr. Beatty has been charged with murder, armed home invasion, unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, use of a firearm while committing a felony, and discharge of a firearm within 500 feet of a building. He'll be appearing in the Lowell District Court tomorrow morning to be arraigned on those charges.
All right, guys, so I know you guys were wondering, well, what does this guy look like? We haven't seen any pictures. We haven't seen any mugshots, nothing like that. I mean, it's not like he's a minor, so why are they hiding his identity? Why are they hiding his mugshot? Why are they hiding his booking and processing into the system? And the reason why is because this story really just doesn't fit the narrative. As you can see, it looks like this is a brother. Okay. His identity is being, I wouldn't say concealed because they put his name out there, but it's like, what's up with the mugshot? Why can't we get a mugshot? We have this half face picture of him in court with a COVID mask. I mean, you can't tell who this guy is. You can't tell who this guy is. It's ridiculous. But this is all we're getting from the mainstream media. That's why I told you guys, this story is going nowhere fast. And this type of stuff is happening every day. From what I can see, it looks like Alianah was potentially mixed race. I can't really tell. Her father looks kind of racially ambiguous as well. So I don't know. She's very much light-skinned. So you potentially could consider this a interracial murder, if you will. But it just looks like we're not getting any type of information on this guy besides his charges, and that is extremely concerning. I'd like to get a mugshot. I think that's kind of part of the processing process, but you know, there were a lot of jurisdictions that deemed mugshots to be racist, and they're doing away with the mugshot system so that the public pretty much can't identify these criminals if they're released on bond or released back into the public for whatever reason. So very concerning times here. Hopefully we can get more updates on who this guy really is, but it's looking like more of the same. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.